reportedly busy bees working on restructuring Aaron Rodgers' contract, free up some cap space. Crickets so far in free agency for them, but you guys know that's nothing new with Green Bay. Brandon Marshall, Aaron Rodgers' contract situation is blank.
Well, I got lazy and I just went with Vital. I went with Vital because, you know, this guy can free up a lot of money. And yeah, I mean, he can free up a lot of money and then you can go out and get somebody. You can go out and get, you know, maybe a Casey Hayward, maybe a Melvin Ingram. Somebody can go on the defensive side and help you out. Yes, 100%. Started there in Green Bay and it was a nickel. Wasn't good. He got better as he went on. We used to crush him in Chicago. But anyways, I wanted to say Vital, Nick, but what are they going to do with the money? What are they going to do? Go get a backup quarterback that can't help you now? What are they going to go do? Go get a third-string offensive lineman? Every offseason, they keep botching this whole deal in free agency and the draft.
What they're supposed to do with the money, Brandon?
What they're going to do. What are they going to do?
You know what they're supposed to do with the money? Use it to pay Odell Beckham Jr. when they trade for him. That's what they should do. But the answer is this. Bad for Love. Aaron Rodgers' contract situation's bad for Love. What do I mean? When they drafted Jordan Love and we were like, oh my God, what does this mean for Aaron Rodgers? You started looking at the contract and it's like, well, if they wanted to trade him in 2 years, the dead money would only be, if you care, next year it'd be $18 million, the year after $2 million. Well, what a restructure does is it adds to those future years of dead money if you were to move on from the player. I know it's nerdy GM stuff, but trust me on this. Restructuring Rodgers' contract makes it more of a sure thing that he finishes out his contract in Green Bay, which, while good for the Packers, is bad for Love. Jordan Love, that is, Wilds.
All right, so I want Aaron Rodgers to sign a lifetime contract like LeBron did with Nike. Whatever number you want to put in on it, doesn't matter. Hey, it's a lifetime deal. That's what just should have happened with Tom Brady and the Patriots. It didn't work. The guy won a Super Bowl. Jordan loves Jimmy G. Hey, he's the hot thing. Let him go get a shot to start somewhere else, go to the Super Bowl. But stay with Aaron Rodgers. Make him your guy. Don't make the mistake that Russ is making and that the Patriots made with Tom Brady. Seattle's making, not Russ. Sorry, Russ. Go back.
Players. It was my concern with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is trying to be the most successful tiny quarterback ever. There's never been a quarterback his size that has been successful. And they're at a high level. And DeVonta's weight, it's not that he's undersized, it's that he would be the, I don't want to say frail, the lightest star receiver ever. And so I'm not saying he can't do it, but anytime, Wild, someone is trying to be the first ever at something, it's concerning to me. So I call it precedent setting.
No, I know, but I'll tell him in the break. I can't call me during the show. I will tell him in the break. I'll tell him in the break. Sorry, that was Doug Flutie. Nick, I got to talk to you in the break. I am going
Doug Flutie wasn't great. He wasn't great.
What?
Sorry, tell Doug I said he wasn't great. If Kyler's career is Doug Murray's career, it's a disaster. Or Doug Flutie's career. Go ahead.
Doug Flutie.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Cereal. Hey, Ocho said, hey, I played at 170 and that was pretty good. He's better than I was. So, but before we move on, Brandon, you are not a small receiver. Even though, and I think you're a pretty big guy, even though we've been doing the show for a year now, I still haven't met you face to face. But aren't there plays that you made, you can watch your highlights, where you're like, you know what, I got that because I physically overpowered the guy, I out-jumped the guy, I stole the ball from him.
I out-muscled the guy.
Aren't there specific plays, if you're a coach, that now you can't call for DeVonta Smith that you could call for Brandon Marshall, and isn't that a cause for concern?
Yeah, but there's also 1,000 plays that I could have had if I ran routes the way he ran routes, or if I had his speed. So it's the other way around. It's what do you want? Do you want a big receiver or do you want a little receiver? It just so happens that the dude is 160 pounds. He had 1,800 yards in the SEC. Please.
Brandon, the last time you weighed 170.
All right, moving on.
8th grade? 8th grade?
Fourth grade.
Fourth
By the
grade.
way,
Sorry, Jenna. Go ahead.
all right, on to free agency now. And I was just going to make a true quip about Doug Flutie, but we'll do that second time around. NFL.com releasing their list of the top free agents still available on the open market. Fine, I'll do it. I had a poster right next to Danny Ainge of Doug Flutie. I had to say it. I'll show a picture as proof tomorrow. Jadeveon Clowney at the top of the free agent list. That is so true. No, not what he said. What I said was true. Almost forget that Jadeveon's still out there, but he is. Hey, Brandon, Doug Flutie and Danny Ainge aside, the most intriguing remaining NFL free agent is blank.
Melvin Ingram. I mean, when I saw this topic last night, I went to NFL.com and I looked at this free agent list. And not only was he on the list, I'm like, I didn't even know he was a free agent. And then he was halfway down the list. Like, the disrespect. Melvin Ingram is a monster. He can play Mike linebacker. You can put him at DN. You can put him out outside linebacker. This dude plays all over the field when you think about the front seven. So for him to still be a free agent, something else has to be going on. Now, Nick, I know he's missed 12 games the last 2 years, but man, he plays the game tough. This is the type of dude, if you insert him into your locker room, if you insert him into your defensive huddle, he instantly brings you credibility and he instantly brings you toughness. I hated playing against him. He's an absolute dog, and he needs to be picked up. What is going on? What is everybody waiting on?
Stay in the AFC West, Melvin Ingram, and go from Los Angeles to Kansas City. Another guy that should stay in the AFC West and go from Los Angeles to Kansas City, Casey Hayward. There are 2 former All-Pro veteran corners still available. Casey Hayward, to me, is on the very short list, and I believe the other one that's on the very short list might be Kevin Wilde's answer, but my answer is Casey Hayward. He's one of 2 corners teams should be targeting. Go ahead, Wilde.
There you go. My answer is Richard Sherman. Yeah, he was hurt last year, but he made the Pro Bowl. Not last year, the year before. What do you think about Richard Sherman to the Jets? We know they need some veteran leadership back there after the old cover zero fiasco. We're like, why'd you run that? Like, no veteran leadership back there. Got a new coach that you had with the 49ers. Think could be a big win. Also, bonus, Jenna, you got Tom Brady and the Bucs next year on the Jets schedule. Little, you mad, bro? It's back. Get one more.
There it is.
Like
that would be a little fun reading. Head up to Green Bay now. Packers reportedly
Nobody retires to Boston.
I think you did like it. I think you liked it.
Retires to Boston.
He likes it. He likes it. Yeah.
Hey, guys. I was up all night last night. I was worried about Theo Maledon, the rookie from Oklahoma City, the Frenchman, Theo as they call him. They had a truly terrible night. Awful, awful night against the T-Wolves. He botched 2, not 1, 2 wide open dunk attempts in the same sequence. Now, I'd love to come out here and crush the guy, but I'm taking a page out of Kevin Wilde's playbook. I'm going to pluck the positive from this and not kill him for what he did last night. Here's how. Anyone else would have gone out for that first dunk attempt, botched it, and said, you know what, tonight's not my night. I'm going to just fade into the background, let other guys do their thing. Not Theo, as they call him in France. He goes right back up a second time, botches it a second time, say sequence. At that point, he really needed to pull himself back. What is the moral of the story? If at first you do not succeed, you try again, kids at home. If you don't succeed the second time, then you got to pull yourself back. It's just embarrassing at that point. It's just, Nick, it's embarrassing. You got to stop.
So yesterday, Elgin Baylor passed. And you're going to hear a lot of things, a lot of quips about Elgin Baylor. You'll hear he's the greatest player in NBA history without a ring. That's true. You might even hear today, and you can maybe see in some of these highlights, he was essentially the inventor of the Euro step, but nobody gave him credit for it, which is why it's called the Euro step. That's also true. All of that, though, undersells how truly great of a basketball player he was. The list of people who averaged more points per game in the history of the NBA: Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, and then there's Elgin Baylor. Elgin had 11 healthy seasons. He was first-team All-NBA in 10 of those seasons. Only LeBron, Kobe, and Karl Malone had more first-team All-NBAs ever. From years 3 to 5 of his career, he averaged 35 and 17 a game. In the